Hungary has made many contributions to the field of folk, popular and classical music. Hungarian folk music is a prominent part of the national identity and continues to play a major part in Hungarian music. Preserving their ancient Asian heritage, traditional Hungarian folk songs and melodies were pentatonic. Hungarian folk music changed greatly beginning in the 19th century, evolving into a new style that had little in common with the music that came before it. Modern Hungarian folk music was characterized by an arched melodic line, strict composition, long phrases and extended register, in contrast to the older styles which always utilized a descending melodic line. Hungarian folk songs were first recorded in 1895 by Béla Vikár, setting the stage for the pioneering work of Béla Bartók, Zoltán Kodály and László Lajta in musicological collecting. Zoltán Kodály, born in 1882 and died in 1967, was a Hungarian composer, ethnomusicologist, pedagogue, linguist and philosopher. He is well known internationally as the creator of the Kodály method of music education. Kodály made the greatest contribution in collecting Hungarian folk songs and the traditional music heritage of various ethnic groups in historical Hungary. Besides his amazing music compositions, such as the dances of Galanta, Háry János and the Matra scenes, Kodály was deeply interested in problems of music education. He is author of highly influential books and a great amount of works on teaching methods, and he also composed plenty of music for children. The Hungarian music education program developed in the 1940s became the basis for the Kodály method. Béla Bartók, born in 1881 and died in 1945, was a Hungarian composer, pianist and ethnomusicologist. He is considered one of the most important composers of the 20th century. Through his collection and analytical study of folk music, he was one of the founders of comparative musicology, which later became ethnomusicology. In 1908, he and Kodály traveled into the countryside to collect and research old Magyar folk melodies. They discovered that the old Magyar folk melodies were based on pentatonic scales, similar to those in Asian folk traditions, such as those of Central Asia, Anatolia and Siberia. In 1911, Bartók wrote what was to be his only opera, Bluebird's Castle, one of his most famous works along with The Miraculous Mandarin and other masterpieces. Bartók's music reflects two trends that dramatically changed the sound of music in the 20th century: the breakdown of the diatonic system of harmony that had served composers for the previous 200 years, and the revival of nationalism as a source of musical inspiration. Besides traditional Hungarian folk music, Cigányzene, or gypsy music in English, is an essential part of Hungarian culture too. In the 19th century, Roma orchestras became well known throughout Hungary and Europe and made a great contribution to the national cultural heritage. Hungary's most important contribution to the worldwide field of European classical music is probably Ferenc Liszt, a renowned pianist in his own time, and the well-regarded composer of 19 Hungarian rhapsodies and a number of symphonic poems, such as Les Préludes. Ferenc Liszt, born in 1811 and died in 1886, was a composer, virtuoso pianist, and conductor of the Romantic era. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest pianists of all time because of his prodigious virtuoso skill as a player. He was a friend, musical promoter and benefactor to many composers of his time, including Frédéric Chopin. Richard Wagner. And Hector Berlioz. A prolific composer, Liszt was one of the most prominent representatives of the new German school, in German Neue Deutsche Schule. He left behind an extensive and diverse body of work that influenced his forward-looking contemporaries and anticipated 20th century ideas and trends. Among Liszt's musical contributions were the symphonic poem, developing thematic transformation as part of his experiments in musical form, and radical innovations in harmony. At the end of the 19th century, Hungarian music was dominated by compositions in the German classical style, while Viennese-style operettas gained immensely in popularity. Ferenc Lehár and Imre Kálmán made a great contribution to the common Austro-Hungarian culture by their masterpieces, such as The Land of Smiles or The Csárdás Princess at the beginning of the 20th century. The origins of Hungarian opera can be traced to the late 18th century, with the rise of imported opera and other concert styles in the cities like Pozsony, Kismarton, Nagyszeben and Pest. The most famous Hungarian opera composer is Ferenc Erkel. His main operas, Bánkbán and Hunyadi László, belong to the most important cultural heritage of the nation. The melody of the national anthem of Hungary was composed by Erkel II. Hungarian popular music in the early 20th century consisted of light operettas and Roma music of various styles, but jazz and klezmer became more and more popular too. Later, in the early 1960s, Hungarian youths began listening to rock in droves, in spite of condemnation from the authorities. Three bands dominated the scene by the beginning of the 1970s: Illés, Metro, and Omega. Some of the members of these bands formed the supergroup Lokomotiv GT that quickly became very famous. LGT was the most prominent band of the classical rock style that was very popular along with Illés, Bergendy and Zorán. Meanwhile, the disco style of electronic music produced such performance as the expensively produced and managed Neoton Familia, Beatrice and Szűcs Judit. In the early 1980s, major bands moved from disco to punk and folk-influenced rock. They were known for their splashy, uncensored and theatrical performances like P-Mobile, Bikini, Hobo Blues Band, Siami and Edda Művek.